Boasberg's ruling in Washington, D.C., when he said, just stop that plane. Let's deal with this intelligently. If that was actually followed, we would not be in this mess with all of these people. I know not all of them were necessarily on that flight, but in general, we could. That's why you have injunctions. Some people are like, why do you do an injunction? You have an injunction, and injunctions are followed because there could be what's called irreparable harm. So if people want to understand what irreparable harm means in practicality, it means that you now have 200, 300 people, many of which may not have criminal records in concentration camps, who can't be returned. It's irreparable. So the idea of the injunctive relief was to stop that from happening, pause the status quo, and then let's deal with it and decide what should happen. That's why it was so flagrant to me when that was violated, and when Trump violates injunctions like that, that it led to all these things that were easily avoided. And I think it would have been in Trump's interest to follow the order, go through the process, and he could have done a Trumpy thing. I wanted to do it. We would have been so strong, but the judge said I couldn't do it. But look, I really wanted to do it. And it actually probably would have helped him. I'm not trying to help him. It's just there's no strategic thinking. It's dummies leading dummies leading dummies. And you know, we've talked about that in other videos, because it would have benefited him if he followed the injunction and blamed the judge, and then the human lives would have been saved, and we would not have been in this situation. I'll give you the final word.
Just a couple quick points. First, Ben, I really think everything you say is really trenchant and a great combination of sort of strategy, common sense, politics, and law. Let me make one additional point about the law. You were trying to figure out where's the irreparable injury. At the time, all these people who are now rotting away in El Salvador were detained. They were already locked up in American facilities, so no possibility. You hear all this demagoguing of as if they're running rampant in American cities and, you know, murdering and rampaging. That's just false. It was the easiest thing in the world to just, they already were frozen, and figure out how to deal with them as a matter of justice. And then second, I just want to echo what you say. Of course, common sense people, they are trying so hard, is the administration, to say, oh, we're for getting rid of nasty murderers. They crazy Democrats are for keeping them there. It is so insultingly false. Of course, we're for strong borders. Of course, we're for, you know, deporting terrible criminals, etc. It is imbecilic of them to suggest that if you can't be for that and also be for a little document called the Constitution, which makes them have to do it right and have neutral decision makers rather than the crazies who are there make the final decision. So, you know, it's the ultimate in demagoguery to say that if you're against criminals, you must be also, if you're for the Constitution, you must be against public safety. It's a really damn lie.
Harry Littman, he's got the Talking Feds YouTube channel, the Talking Feds podcast, and the Talking Feds Substack. Everybody, go ahead and subscribe to all of them. I think you will, I think you will love them. And that's where I get my news from. I love them. I love you, Harry.
Thanks, Ben.
Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MidasPlus.com.